Hey Space Sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper. Our own problems are sort of mostly tentatively under control for the moment, so we are launching a late game mission to help out some refugees now. At the risk of biting off more than we can chew, because we still have a few other quests going, let's bring the gear roll caps. Ash asked you to bring supplies, and fragrant eye-ground gear roll caps seem like the perfect thing to impress her. Ash sees you coming up the broken spoke and waves you into the cavernous bay of the climbing briar. You came! Peak smiles as you walk into the climbing briar's cargo hold behind a gloomy Ash. They brought mushrooms. Ash tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peak. Peak gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick one up and sniff at it. Are these edible? Yes. Peak turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. We're not so used to fresh produce. Ash is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. They're an acquired taste. I'm sure the refugees would acquire it. Ash wipes off her hands on a rag. Most of them are from Ember's moons, so they're used to eating green and growing things. Not like us XPR roughnecks. XPR? This an interrogation? She glares. Either way, we're done with that place, which is all you need to know. Ash leans back against the crate she was securing. We're gonna need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees, though. Why are they trapped? You tell me. It's your station administration that set up the cordon. Peak gives Ash a look. Sorry, she looks at Peak. I know this isn't on you. Ash stands and walks over to the mushrooms you brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. I take it Havenage isn't interested in talking? We aren't exactly welcome guests, Peak explains. If anyone figures out that we came in with the refugee ships, we'll be quarantined as well. Why is there a quarantine? Peak jumps in. The Eye has a closed-loop life support system just like any orbital installation. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain on life support could cause a cascading collapse in its systems. Ash scoffs. Are we making excuses for these bureaucrats now? Peak turns. We are being realistic, Ash. But these people aren't an increased strain, they are living people. Ash stares at you. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single monolithic group. Ash slides the container full of mushrooms into one of the cargo hold's racks. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill in this hold, so if you're gonna help... I think Ash is trying to say we need your help, and quickly, Peak says, glancing at her. The refugees behind the cordon, they won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or... Ash steps forward. Or Havenage will have to bear the responsibility for whatever happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Ash gestures to the storage containers around the hold. Water we can find a way to source, or my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Peak raises their eyebrows. Ash. She ignores them. For food, things could be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we can get access... Not more stealing, Ash, Peak sighs. I didn't say steal. She stares at them indignantly. If we can get access, we can work the stack, harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks churn out vast quantities in short timescales. And the repair components? Peak asks tentatively. Ash smiles. Just look around you, Peak. This whole place is made of scrap. She shoots you a glance. And I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They can bring them right here. We get everything before time runs out. Perfect. We get most of it. Also good. Either way, in 12 cycles, I'm going to take what we have and go. How will you get through? Ash shoulders the container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peak. They flinch. Are you serious? Ash, I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point... They stop, take a breath. Take this seriously, Ash. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not, Ash looks at you, but they might. They slipped out from an S&R facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. You're always trying to get me to find help? Well, here it is. She gestures at you. Help. Peak glances between the two of you. I swear to... They sigh. I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, Ash meets your hand. You can help me acquire the supplies. Discreetly. She smiles. We have to keep this quiet, keep Havenage out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is all over for all of us. This all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull this all together. Ash goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Peek, come help me. Peek glances back at her. Sleeper, look. We didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on the Broken Spoke. You're welcome to rest there in any of the cots while we work on this. They smile. We're in this together. Peek! Ash shouts, and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eye's ring, where Havenage's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? Oh boy. So we only have 12 cycles, and they need food, water, and components. I need 8 scrap. That's a lot. I can sleep here, okay. 8 scrap is not trivial. Doable, but not trivial. Plus 1 scrap at best from here, because that is going to be painful. Okay. Oh, there's the algae stack. There's the reservoir for... Okay, so that's food and water. Otherwise... We're growing our remaining mushrooms. We're waiting for Bliss to get another job. Otherwise, it's pretty much those two, so to be fair, we can focus pretty well on this. Reservoir S3, water storage and processing. Okay. Plus Havenage alert. Oh boy. Oh boy. The only way for Ash to get enough water is to siphon it directly from the station's reservoirs. Havenage will not be pleased. We are, however, a very good engineer, so we have a pretty good chance of pulling this off, but Ash needs tanks and tanks of water if she hopes to help the flotilla. Anything less is worthless to her. Havenage have installed a complex sensor array to monitor the reservoir. Trip this, and the whole place will go into lockdown. Okay. Algae stack. It's controlled by a small collective of farmers. If you want to use it, you'll need to persuade them. Much to Ash's frustration, you'll have to pay or talk your way into using the algae stack to farm food for the refugees. Okay. I'm not good at engage, but this one is quite doable, so I'm going to just start. You and Ash roll up your sleeves and help with tank cycling. As you do, you speak to the farmers about the refugees. Thing is, if I trip an alert on this, it can go really wrong really fast. Oh, wait. That's an excellent idea, yeah. Gotta remember to use that. So if this is positive, does the alert go up? No. But it's gonna take ages to siphon enough water. Okay. Neutral already triggers a Havenage alert. Tap one of the pipes. As you do, you see the flashing warning light of a sensor. You hope no one notices. Ash grimaces. Okay. Let's have a rest. I guess, well, that has to be the priority now. Other than that, we've really just got Greenway specific stuff, the side reel, which is a pretty long-term thing, and Rabia. Damn, that's a good series of rolls. I don't know if there's really any point to feeding the stray every day, I just feel good about it. Okay. You're not ready for another couple days, right? Yeah. Okay, then realistically, my top priority is pretty much to figure this stuff out. We're not good at this, but if I use 2 top-notch die, we will have it done, to be honest, so let's do it. Algae. Oh, the farmers are... I guess I missed There's probably somewhere here an update. The algae in the stack grows at a regular rate, but with some careful feed adjustments and water cycling, you can improve your yield per cycle. The algae takes time to grow. Each cycle, more can be harvested from the stack. Patience is required. The flotilla needs a lot of food to last out the quarantine, and Ash will settle for nothing less than a full hold's worth. Okay. We did this quite early on, so I'll boost that later if needed. I think first we want to work on this. Okay. This is a big project I've taken on here, actually. Especially if we do get distracted by anything else in the course of it. And I'm now starving. Oh. As you leave, you find a note pinned on the outside of the door. It reads, "Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peek." You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you're doing this. Time to make a plan. Okay, let me buy some food. Okay, our guard. To be honest, we have to prioritize this. Okay, that's the last club head cap. Now I don't have to prioritize it anymore. Wrong thing. Alright, Rico. What's the deal? Rico is at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices you approach. "Sleeper, it's good to see you." She looks up, smiling. "This little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something." What is it?" The drum finishes spinning, and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. "This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. And according to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway." You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. "Any idea what it might be?" Rico asks, without looking away from the vial. We take a wild shot in the dark. "Stabilizer." Rico nods. "You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier." Rico's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. "I just thought..." She pauses, thinking very carefully of how to continue. "I just wanted you to trust us." What do you mean?" She sighs. "They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before, and they were terrified at this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you, and damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the commune. I only really spoke to them once while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of systems engineers." She looks nervously at you. "I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples." "Samples?" "You have to understand, I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail." She shifts her weight to her crutch. "The next cycle, they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up towards the wild margins where the Greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth." She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. "When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up." She smiles to herself. "Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once." She holds out a hand with the vial. "This is for you." You take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth in your palm. "Thank you." "Don't thank me." She gazes out at the Greenway through the glass. "Those club head caps made it for you, or at least who or whatever made those club heads." She starts to clear her bench. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. Yeah, pretty incredible. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame, is it, runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold, so too is this sprung from your presence here. Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. And what I also know is it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I've never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many clubheads as you'd like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you, freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what being is at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Yeah. Rico sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper. Truly I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more, but I'm so glad I met you. She smiles. You are welcome here any time. Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realize how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up weighing on your mind. Sweet. Okay. We would still need, what, 13 points to max everything out. I doubt that's happening anytime too soon. We're sort of running low on quests, but... What's this then? Rico's grow beds. Oh! I can plant the seed finally. The only way to understand what the gardener gave you is to grow it. Rico is incredibly excited by the prospect. Yeah, let's do it. I'll take good care of it, Sleeper, Rico smiles. Don't you worry. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. Well, that's going to take 8 cycles to grow. The seed is planted, and Rico is an attentive mother to it. What future is forming there? Otherwise, okay, 2 club head caps for a stabilizer. Honestly, in terms of actions, it's pretty costly. Because I can afford save stabilizer for about 4 really bad dice from the Yataghan. Whereas this will probably take about 2 plus, probably on average about 4 good dice, more or less. Then again, the difference is smaller, you know. From a role-playing perspective, it's way better to not be reliant on the Yataghan. Okay, so what now then? That's achieved. The algae stack is growing. Let's keep siphoning. One at best is harsh. Let's reroll though. Wow, that was miserable. Okay. Well, let's talk to Esh. Way down here, or Peak, way down here. Sleeper. Peak catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting up here? This place is huge. It certainly is. Havenage has been busy. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Havenage cordon. The cordon's temporary structures, a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, jut out into the black. And all around, the tugs flit, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? Beak interrupts your thoughts. How would you get through? Probably hack a tug. As an escort, you mean? I doubt we could fit all the supplies on one of those tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon... Beak squints at the red lights. But then we'd be stuck inside. Beak turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Ash has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question is spoken under their breath, and they... Sorry. Don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Are there other options? If you've got them, I'm happy to hear them, Beak smiles. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through that cordon. They gesture out the window at the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking we're meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort would work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar's doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon's scanning and deterrent systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready. S surely wouldn't mind. They leaned back from the window. How does that sound? Risky. Well, they smile. Yes, there's always going to be risk. That's how this works. You gotta be on board with that. Pig looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance out of the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and to prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight, yeah. Pig looks at you. If this goes wrong, Pig sighs, just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Ash anywhere, but you don't need to get dragged down with us. Okay. Good. Pig brightens a little. I don't need any more guilt than I already have. Let's get to it. Pig stretches. I'll tell Ash about the improvements to the Briar and the rest. Let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper. Pig smiles, but I'm very glad they did. Okay. This is a really tight timeline. Okay. We're pretty good at this, so we can gather intel easily enough. I mean, well, worst case we lose energy apparently, so the cordon buzzes with radio transmissions and data packets. Okay. You gather snippets of data that point to a rift in the teams working on the cordon. The refugees have growing support within Havenage. Oh, that would be handy. You and Peak need to get a sense of how the Havenage operation works before you can prepare your plan to slip through it. One thing about being a sleeper is people always assume you're working, so blending in with the tug crews shouldn't be too tough. And then this said, the cordon buzzes with radio transmissions and data packets. Intercepting them will help give you a sense of how things run here. That's 2 out of 6. I also need scrap. 8 scrap, which is a lot. Oh, I have 2 sitting around. Okay, that's a start. What? Why? Oh, I just need to have all 8. I see. Alright. That's so much. Let's go rest for a cycle. Let's feed the cat. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale? You up for it? I'm ready. Alright then. We're in business. He pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. Has to. He looks down. If it doesn't... Bliss okay? He frowns. I don't think so, but she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be. He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. He shakes his head. And I would hate not to pay back my debts. Moritz stretches. I've got to get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Okay. Is there a timer on this too? Because I can't really afford for there to be. Of course there is. Starboard vector. The selected launch window for the Starboard Vector's maiden voyage is closing. This is going to be a tight one. The Starboard Vector's experimental sail deployment failed horribly. Now its massive solar sails need to be repaired. Oh my god, we have 6 cycles, and there's so much to do. Oh my god. There's no way this should be happening at the same time as the other thing. The spurs need resetting and the system rebooting, but if you're careful, you can safely untangle some of the sail while you do this. An exhausting task. Patching solar sails means maintaining a laser focus for long periods of time, and time is something you don't have. Yeah, this is, that's 1/4. Okay. That's better. I almost have to split my energy, but this is... We are going to be cutting it close. We can get the water shortly. The algae is growing. I don't know how hard we have to put. Like, I feel like we got it done pretty fast. So hopefully we won't have to boost that a lot. We certainly don't have the spare resources to do so. Let's take this stabilizer. And end cycle. I think we try to clear the Bliss thinks timer runs out faster. I think we basically try to clear that as quick as we can. Can I just straight up eat the mushrooms? I didn't really ever try that. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, but I can sell them, that's right. I don't have any specific use for Matsutake caps now, right? I don't think so, no. Emphas doesn't want anything more with them, does he? No. So, yeah. I can just sell these for extra money now, I think. Hopefully I don't regret this somehow, but... 80 cryo. Not bad. Okay, I'm starving, so let's not sleep, but, or remember to buy food before we sleep, but, plus, plus, plus. Plus, plus, plus. Plus, plus. Plus, plus. Okay. I mean, it's pretty much taken all we've got for like 2, probably 3 cycles, which we definitely could not afford, but we're gonna get that done. Ooh, the algae stack, yes. Oh, I have to harvest too. Now you can freely harvest edible algae to ship to the Refugee Flotilla. Even Ash admits it has a pleasant, earthy taste. Oh boy, this could immediately go wrong, huh? 1. But we lost... Boy. We are stretched so damn thin here. How many cycles do we have left for that? Like 7? Oh wait, don't rest. Eat food. Thank you, Emphas. Fungus. Thanks for watching, Space Sailors. Hope you enjoyed. New episodes will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like or subscribing, and have a nice day, Space Sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.